So, guys, I'm going to talk about the action over the weekend. I do apologize. This was probably supposed to be up yesterday, but I've been really busy over the weekend and yesterday as well. I was working, so I wasn't able to put out videos for you guys. So yeah, I'm going to do the couple of fights that were over the weekend, and I'm also going to cover Golovkin this week against Dominic Wade and Roman Gonzalez against Williams Arroyo. That will be in a separate video probably later on in the week. Yeah, so let's talk about the UK first, and we're going to talk about Josh Warrington versus Hisashi Amagasa. And for me, I mean, the fight was pretty decent. It was nothing spectacular. You know, it didn't really catch my eye too much. But Josh Warrington done relatively well for me. He uses jab well. He came forward and used his jab and try to close the gap in distance between Amagasa and himself. Amagasa was throwing really wide hooks, and it was very awkward. You could say it's unorthodox or just very bang average. But Warrington done well. For me, the scoring was relatively subjective due to the terrible Sky commentary again. I'm a Brit, and the Sky commentary was awful. So I think that may have swayed a lot of people's thoughts into the fight being a lot closer than it was. I actually scored it 8-4. I did watch it with the sound off the second time around as well, so I scored it about 8-4. For me, Warrington against an elite level fighter at featherweight, I don't think he can hang with them. For me, he's a fringe world level operator. He's above Euro level. He's a fringe world level operator. He's decent. He's pretty good at what he does. But he's very ABCD in what he does, and the elite fighters, possibly Santa Cruz, Lee Selby, Gary Russell Jr., Vasyl Lomachenko, those sort of fighters, Oscar Valdez, they'll pick him off and chop him down for. He seems to have a very good chin, but possible late stoppage or a really wide points decision. Boxing Gossip actually made a great point yesterday in his live show, and he said a really good fight would be Warrington versus Eric Hunter. That would be a really good fight. I mean, height wise, they're comparable as well. Uh, you know, Hunter relies a lot on reflexes and natural athleticism. That would be really good. But interested to see where Warrington goes from here. As he said yesterday in the live show as well, that Warrington doesn't really need to be pushed that much, and I actually agree with that point. Warrington's at a good stage in his career. He's relatively young. Well, he's actually quite young, and he's got a large fan base in Leeds, and people turn out in their droves to see him. So it's one of those things. Eddie Hearn's going to try and push him and get a big fight, or is he going to put the brakes on him and slow him down a bit? But I mean, he can go places given the right opponent. For me, at world title level, he can't win a world title with his skills. Especially against the champions there at the moment. So, and there's a fair few decent contenders there as well. So, for me, it's not. It, Warrington's still a level below that. But interested to see where he goes from here, and if it is Lee Selby, big fight in the UK. Well, in regions of the UK, so it'll be decent. Moving on, Jose Pedraza defended his IBF super featherweight title against Stephen Smith. For me, I mentioned it yesterday in Boxing Gossip's live show again, since we were all talking about these fights over the weekend. And yeah, I mean, for me, Stephen Smith, he's never been a big super featherweight. He moved up after facing Lee Selby. He got brutally KO'd by him, which was a big shock. Stephen Smith was a huge favourite in the fight, and he got brutally stopped. Stephen Smith's always had decent skills. I think at featherweight he was able to, uh, he really showed his skills, and he was really good on the way up prior to the Selby loss. He moved up to super featherweight, and he had a barrage of knockouts and stoppage wins. And of course, they weren't against the best opposition, and it probably made him look a lot better than what he was. He done well in the fight. He done decent in the fight to stay in there, especially after the ninth round knockdown. But for me, he Eddie Hearn, especially, and Matchroom, Joe Gallagher, they all should have been a lot smarter and put him down a WBO route to face Rocky Martinez. Rocky Martinez is an established champion one, and he was a beatable champion as well for me. Jose Pedraza, don't get me wrong, he's not unbeatable, but he was a much tougher operator than someone like Rocky Martinez, and even Ricky Burns set the blueprint when Rocky came over to the UK on how to beat him. So for me, that was a much easier fight for Stephen Smith to win. And even if he moved back down to featherweight or he stayed at super feather, I heard rumors that he was actually struggling to make the 130 limit, which is shocking because he looked very small in comparison to Pedraza. So I mean, it's hard to see where Smith goes from here now. He only has two losses on his record. Um, does he stay at super feather? Does he drop back down to feather? Uh, it's very hard. I don't know how things are going to work out for him and what route he might go down. As I said, WBO route. Rocky Martinez still holds the WBO title, but I've heard rumors, and Bob Arum's been talking about a lot in the last 2 weeks that Vasyl Lomachenko is actually moving up to face Rocky Martinez for his WBO super featherweight title. So I don't know how things are going to work out. I know Takashi Uchiyama is fighting in not next week, the week after. Sorry, next week. I think it is next Saturday in Japan. He has a final voluntary defense of his WBA super featherweight title. Uh, Javier Fortuna's there as well as a WBA regular champion. Francisco Vargas is facing Orlando Toledo next, so it's very hard for Stephen Smith at the moment. I would have said he's top 15 at super feather, universally ranked, but it's tough. I mean, the options are quite limited there for Smith, and if he does move up to lightweight, since he was struggling at super feather, I can see him really struggling, just due to height and range dynamics. So, Jose Pedraza, where does he go from here? For me, it'd be good if he would face someone like Felix Verdejo, and they can kind of settle the best Puerto Rican prospect. Felix Verdejo didn't do so good over the weekend, I heard, but I haven't watched this fight, so I have to catch up with that one. But Pedraza looks really good, really solid at 130, and can do some really good things and possibly move up to lightweight and win a world title there as well. So onwards and upwards for the sniper. Uh, quick few bits. Quick few bits. As I said, thanks a lot to Boxing Gossip who gave me a big shout out on his live show yesterday. This will go up on Tuesday. He had a live show at 9 p.m. on Monday. So big shout out to him. Really appreciate that. He also gave a shout out to Ultratech Sports and Dave Champion. Dave Champion runs a new boxing channel, really good channel. I've checked it out, and Ultratech Sports I've been watching for a while. Not on my actual account, so I've been watching him just offline basically, and I like his stuff. He's grown on me a lot, so yeah, really decent. Um, Also, a shout out from myself. I know I don't have that many subscribers, but whoever's on my channel, if you like any vlogs in relation to just adventure days out, or just basic things, and you might do some gaming. My friend Shawn Banjo, he's running the Ace Gaming space underscore channel. So do go check that out. I'll leave it in the comment section or in the description. His first vlog was actually on his brother's game, who plays for Crawley against Wimbledon, and it's really good. It looks really decent, and please do go check that out if you like that sort of stuff. I enjoyed it, and I hope to be a part of it soon as well, because I'm quite close friends with him and my other friend in the video as well. So yeah, anything else? Comment your thoughts in the comment section below about Stephen Smith versus Jose Pedraza. and Warrington versus Amagasa, potential opponents for their for those four or three, and yeah, let me know all your collective thoughts on that. Please leave the thumbs up if you enjoyed the video, subscribe and share so it gets out to a larger audience, and yeah, take care guys, and speak to you soon. Peace.